I just got popcorn at the football game, my sister's son stated. By morning, my card got emptied. $27,900 lost. Popcorn Signified Apple X3. A huge TV VIP suite passes. My sister giggled. Relax. Those are just gifts. I told him it's Santa's card. I grinned and replied, Merry Christmas. But that night, I locked every card on their accounts. At 7 a.m., she checked her app and shrieked 5 minutes later. My phone rang from, imagine waking up one morning to find your entire bank account, nearly $30,000, completely wiped out. And the person who did it, your own sister, she didn't just drain my savings. She tried to drain my soul. What would you do if your family used your generosity to destroy your financial future, and then blamed you for standing up for yourself? My name's Jerry. I'm 34. For years, I've been the guy who keeps it together. The defense attorney who tells other people's stories with a straight face. The oldest son who remembers birthdays, reads the fine print, shows up early with extra batteries. I'm not dramatic. I don't do scenes. I just fix things. I grew up in a house where attention was a currency, and my little sister, Megan, was printing it. Mom called her sunshine. Dad called her kiddo. Me? I was Buddy. Useful. Quiet. A walking errand. When I passed the bar, we celebrated at a diner. When Megan passed a community college quiz, there were balloons. So yeah, I learned to pick up the slack. I lived close to our parents. I fixed their Wi-Fi, filled their gas tanks, even co-signed a lease once because, it's just for a year. I told myself it was fine. Families are messy. Be the calm one. Keep the peace. Last Saturday night, everything changed. Our high school was playing its big rivalry game. Cold air, bright lights, that smell of greasy stadium food. I was standing by the fence, still in my blazer from court prep, sipping a paper cup of coffee. My nephew, Tyler, Megan's 12-year-old son, came running up, all grins. He said the sentence that lit the fuse. I just bought popcorn. He beamed, waving a phone. Aunt Meg said I could use the Apple Wallet. My stomach dropped. Whose card? I asked, already knowing the answer. He just shrugged. Santa's. I laughed. What else do you do when a kid tries to be funny? I told him to enjoy the game, handed him a $5 bill for a second bucket, and turned back to the field. But my gut was screaming. By halftime, my phone blew up. One Apple charge. Then a second. The third. I locked my jaw, forced my eyes away from the screen. The marching band played. People cheered. I sipped my burnt coffee and pretended the world was normal, pretended my blood wasn't starting to boil. After the final whistle, Megan met me by the concession stand. Relax, she said, smiling that fake, commercial-perfect smile. Those were Christmas gifts. I told him it's Santa's card. I swallowed the bitter coffee taste. Merry Christmas, I said, the words dead in my mouth. Because that's me, right? The calm one. The buddy. We hugged. I carried a folding chair to her trunk. I drove home on pure muscle memory, my mind racing. At 2 a.m., I opened my banking app. My world tilted. My card was drained. $27,900. Gone. Popcorn, of course, but also mint Apple X3. One giant TV. VIP suite seats. 2 neonic gifts I didn't recognize. At 2:17 a.m., I sat bolt upright in bed, staring at my ceiling fan. At 2:20, I made a list. At 2:28, I froze every single card tied to their accounts. At 7 a.m., Megan opened her app and screamed. At 7:05, my phone lit up. Unknown number. Then Mom. Then Megan. Then somehow Tyler's school iPad. 5 minutes later, it rang again. I let it ring twice just to assert some control, any control. Where did the money go? Mom demanded. Not even a hello. Just a verdict. In the background, I heard Megan's sobs and Dad opening cabinets. Like he could fix this with the right wrench. Good morning, I said, my voice unnervingly calm. Which money? Don't play with me, Jerry. Mom snapped. Your sister says you canceled everything. She's at the Apple store. They told her the cards declined. The TV is being held. This is embarrassing. Megan used my card, I stated. I froze it. She used it for the family. Mom insisted. Christmas for Tyler, for us, you're the lawyer. You make plenty. I looked at my notepad. Numbers underlined, timestamps neat as bricks. Who added my card to Apple Pay? Silence. Then Megan's voice, bright and shaky. Tyler did. I told him it was okay. We saved your card from last time. Remember when you treated us to pizza? It auto-filled. I didn't know it would spiral. But it's Christmas. I was going to pay you back. When? I asked. Tax return. She chirped. Where's your bonus? Stop being weird. Tyler is 12. 12-year-olds don't buy $27,900 worth of electronics overnight, I said flatly. That's rude, she shot back. He's gifted. I closed my eyes. I could see the whole timeline. Tyler swipes for popcorn. The phone remembers my card. Megan taps Apple Pay. New charges slide in. TV. Sweet seats for a pro game. A pair of ridiculous gold-rimmed headphones. Signature edition. It wasn't one mistake. It was a spree, with a bow on it. Dad took the phone. Bud, he started, using that soft, patronizing voice he reserved for when I changed a tire in the rain. You know your sister's situation. Ours cut. Rent up. We're all pitching in. You just bought a new couch, right? It's used, I said, gripping my pen. You have a good job, he said. It balances. Balancing. That word had haunted me through every holiday. When I paid for the emergency dentist, it balanced the time Megan washed my cat for 2 days. When I co-signed her lease, it balanced the time she FaceTimed me at 1 a.m. to cry about a bad date. It always balanced as long as the scale leaned toward her. I kept my voice flat, lawyer cold. I froze the cards because I'm disputing the charges. And because your accounts were linked to my card without permission. It wasn't without permission. Mom interjected. Your family. Family isn't a password, I said. Tyler was crying now, that loud, gulping cry kids use when they know it gets results. Megan whispered to him. Hot mic. Baby, it's okay. Uncle Jerry's just grumpy. He'll unfreeze it after he eats. I remembered smaller things. Gravel under a shoe. 5th grade. Megan borrowed my baseball card binder to trade for a concert hoodie. Senior year. My scholarship deposit vanished because Mom moved some money around and forgot to move it back. Last spring, Megan asked if she could park her debt under my credit score, just for 6 months. I said no. She cried. Mom called me cold. Dad asked, you're the one with the head for numbers. You okay? You know what you're doing, right? My friend Nina asked that afternoon. She's a prosecutor. We share a hallway and mutual eye rolls. I told her the popcorn version of events. Being a jerk, I said. Setting a boundary, she corrected. That night, my phone. Stacked messages like plates. Megan. Unfreeze the card. Mom, your sister is humiliated. Dad. Call me. Tyler. Popcorn emoji. Crying face emoji. Then another charge attempt at 9:13 p.m. VIP suite upgrade. Declined. Monday morning at 6:48. Megan sent a screenshot. Asterisk declined at pharmacy. Jerry, he's sick. Asterisk a bottle of flu syrup circled in red. I drove it over myself at 7:20. Tyler opened the door. A hoodie 3 sizes too big swallowing him. One I recognized from a luxury collage on Megan's Pinterest. He sniffed. Are you mad at me? No, I said. I'm mad at the grown-ups. Megan came in hot. Why are you here? Did you unfreeze it? No, I said. I set the syrup on the counter. The kitchen smelled like last night's fries and body spray. In the corner, the 85-inch TV box sat like a silent judgment. The shipping sticker had my name. Return label, I said, tapping it. Megan folded her arms. We're keeping it. You bought it with my card. Family card, she spat. I felt my heart rate do that courtroom climb. Megan, look at me. She looked anywhere else. You used my money without asking. Then you laughed. Then you told your son it was Santa. You made a child your cover. Her eyes flashed. Judge me for trying to give him a good Christmas. Wow. Congrats on being miserable. I wasn't miserable. I was tired. There's a difference. Tired remembers dates. I remembered last March when she promised to pay me $150 a month, no matter what. April asterisk oops. Can I skip this month? Tyler needs cleats. Asterisk May, he needs a hoodie. June, he needs AirPods. August, he needs a school iPad. Need was elastic. It snapped around anything shiny. At 9:02 a.m., I called my bank. Lawyer voice engaged. I filed a fraud report for charges after 8 p.m. Saturday. I listed the merchant IDs. I documented the Apple Pay device name Meg's iPhone that had made the purchases. I sent them the text thread. I asked them to lock every card that had ever touched that device. At lunch, Dad parked outside my office with a paper bag of sandwiches and a face like he was delivering a baby bird. Don't go nuclear, he said. I'm not, I replied. You froze their grocery card, he accused. The grocery card was my card, I said. He sighed. She made a mistake. You're going to burn down Christmas over a mistake. Over a mistake? Over popcorn. Over $27,900. With a winky-faced device name. I stared at the ceiling of the parking garage so I wouldn't say something that would end us both. Dad, I said quietly, when did you and Mom decide that my money is community property, but my time is a solo sport? He blinked. What? When you need a lawyer? I asked. Who drives to the county at 3 a.m.? Me. When your washing machine floods? Me. When you need someone to read mom's insurance refusal? Me. But when I say, please don't add my card to your wallet, I'm cold. It's family. He said it again as if repetition could make it law. It's unauthorized use, I said, just once without heat. The breaking point was supposed to be quiet. My plan? Keep the dispute moving. Return the TV. Write a polite, hard email. Instead, Thursday torched itself. It was Dad's birthday. We met at a chain Italian place at 6. Mom wore pearls. Tyler slumped in a booth, flipping a menu like it had offended him. Megan was sugary nice, which is our family's weather alert. The server took drink orders. Megan kept her smile on me like a stage light. So, she said brightly, you got the bank to unfreeze it? No, I said. Her smile didn't move. We can talk after cake. We ate. We did the thing where everyone pretends the breadsticks are a miracle to avoid the topic strangling the table. Midway through Dad's second glass of red, Megan set her fork down. This is insane, she declared. You're humiliating me. Meg, Mom warned, but she was already rolling. You're a lawyer, she said to me. It's not even real money. It's points. You love points. Points are not money, I stated. Money is money. You spent mine. That's family money, she said, louder now. People started to glance. Tyler grinned. He likes episodes. I put my napkin down and looked at Dad. We can step outside. No, Megan said. We can do it here. You're crazy. Everyone says so. You're obsessed with control. You need therapy. Probably, I said. But this isn't therapy. It's math. She laughed. A small, mean sound. You're trying to punish me, she said. Because Mom and Dad loved me more. I took a breath, felt my pulse settle. My voice went calm. Closing argument calm. This isn't about revenge, I said steady. This is about closure. She blinked. The table went very still. I slid a plain envelope across to her. Inside, a one-page letter I'd drafted that afternoon. Not a lawsuit, not a threat, just a ledger, and a line. Asterisk effective today. I will not share bank access, cards, or credit with you or anyone else. I will not co-sign, gift large purchases, or be responsible for any debt you create. I will help in emergencies that involve safety or health once, if asked in advance and if I decide yes. That decision will not be debated. If you attempt to use my information without permission again, I will file a police report. I love you. These are my boundaries. Asterisk Megan read it, lip curled. You're actually insane. Tyler, I said. Can I get the chocolate lava cake? He did. Mom leaned in. You're going to break this family. We're already broken, I said. We broke when stealing got renamed Christmas. We broke when help became tribute. Dad slammed his palms softly on the table. Not enough to scare the next booth. Just enough to warn the herd. Enough. Jerry, you unfreeze the card tonight. Megan, you apologize for the TV. Everyone stops yelling. No, I said. The word had weight. It landed and didn't bounce. Megan laughed again, but her face had that wild shine I recognize from defendants right before they say the thing that loses them the jury. Okay, she said. Then we'll fix it our way. What does that mean? I asked. She held up her phone. Crowdfunding, she said. Family deserves better. People help. They'll see what you are. She wasn't bluffing. At 9:14 p.m., a post went up. A photo of Tyler under a too-big blanket. The TV box in the background. A caption about stingy relatives and power trips. And a boy who just wanted Christmas. The link asked for $2,000. By midnight, it asked for $10,000. By morning, it said, goal met. Thank you, angels. I didn't sleep. I wrote instead, not online, not to the crowd, but to 3 people. At 2:03 a.m., I emailed Mom, Dad, and Megan. Asterisk, I am done being the family wallet. We can talk next week. Not about money, about rules. Asterisk, at 7 a.m., Mom called, shrill with victory and smoke. They raised it, she shrieked. See? Community. You look cruel now. I'm not a pole, I said. I'm a person. Come fix this, she demanded. No, I said again, practicing. Noticing how the word got easier each time, like a muscle finally being used for what it was meant to do. If you've never set a real boundary with your family, here's the thing no one tells you. It's loud at first. Then it's quiet in a way that feels like altitude. The loud part lasted 3 days. Day 1 was calls. 43 missed between 8 a.m. and noon. Megan left 6 voicemails in a row. The first was sobbing. The second was screaming. The third was logistical, how do I install the TV without the installer? The fourth was back to sobbing. The fifth was an offer, what if I pay you $50 a month starting in March? The sixth was a threat. I'll tell everyone you hit me. Then a quick addendum like she remembered the room was bugged. Emotionally, Mom's texts came in bursts. Asterisk family is sacred. Your grandmother would be ashamed. You loved that toy kitchen as a kid. Where do you think it came from? Asterisk I turned my phone over and worked a case with white noise focus. Every time I looked up, the red badges multiplied. Day 2 was quiet war. An aunt posted a Facebook essay about cold hearts. A cousin DM'd me to say, "Proud of you, man, but I can't like that publicly." Someone sent me a screen grab of Megan's crowdfund updated again. New goal, help with rent. With a photo of Tyler looking solemn next to a stack of wrapped boxes that looked suspiciously like the same boxes from last year with new bows. Nina knocked on my office door, put a coffee down. "Still using your hearing face?" she asked. "I filed the return," I said. "For the TV? For everything," I clarified. "Bank's cooperating." Apple flagged the device. "You know that means a fight," she said. "I know," I said. "I'm a lawyer." Day 3 was the visit. Dad buzzed my apartment at 6:40 p.m. while I was folding laundry and watching a video about repairing dishwasher seals like a man 60 years older than I am. "Can I come up?" he asked through the speaker. "Yeah," I said. I didn't want him to bring the war to my hall. He looked smaller in person. Or maybe I was standing straighter. He sat at my table, hands folded like he was at confession. He did not yell. He did not threaten. He just looked tired. "Bud," he said, "I didn't raise you to be hard. You raised me to carry," I said. He rubbed his forehead. "Your sister," he trailed off. "I know," I said. "I know exactly who she is. I also finally know who I am around her." "You're her brother," he said. "I'm also a person," I said, "with a life that doesn't run on emergency mode." He nodded slowly. "She says you embarrassed her. She says you humiliated your mother. She says everything," I said gently. "Here's what I say." I slid a second envelope across the table. A copy of the boundary letter, and a single page of numbers. Every transfer for the last 5 years. Every just this once. Every, "I'll pay you Friday." The total at the bottom looked like down payment money. It looked like a year of law school loans. It looked like time I can't get back. Dad read it all the way through. He didn't blink much. "This is a lot," he said finally. "It is," I said. "And I let it happen. That's on me. So now what?" "Now I stop," I said. "Return what we can. Eat what I can't. Move on." He stared at the boundary paragraph again. "If we have a medical emergency, I'll pick up on the first ring," I clarified. "If you call. Not if Megan calls. Pretending it's you." He smiled a little despite himself. "She's not that slick. She's slippery," I said. "Different animal." He put the paper down and looked at me for a long time. "Your mother won't like this." "She'll survive," I said. Sounded cold. It wasn't. It was a truth. My mother has survived everything and everyone, including topics that make her throat close. He stood up. "You coming Sunday?" he asked. "If there's no money talk," I said. "If there's no TV talk. If Megan doesn't make me Santa." He sighed. "That's a lot of conditions." "They're boundaries," I said. "They're only heavy if you try to carry them for me." He hugged me in the doorway. It was awkward and brief, and something cracked small inside my chest. The good kind of crack. The one that lets air in. That weekend they tried a few more things. Megan Venmo requested me $27,900 with a snowman emoji. Declined. She tagged me in an Instagram story where she held Tyler and said, "Some people love money more than family." I blocked her and felt both 12 and free. Mom called to say, "Your aunt thinks this is all over a girl you liked once." I told her that was nonsense. She said, "Good. You're too busy for girls anyway," which was both on brand and a reminder to keep all my therapy receipts. On Monday, the bank reversed 2 of the Apple charges. The TV company accepted the return with a restocking fee that felt like paying to stand up. The suite seats were not refundable. I ate that cost. Fine. I imagined the view. I pictured an empty leather chair with my name on the ticket and I decided to like the image. A little monument to the price of learning. Work got louder in the best way. Trial dates, motions, a judge with a face like a hawk who hates wasted time. I felt present again. Not like I was living under a constant, fuzzy alarm. At night, when the apartment hummed its small, comforting noises, I counted calls. Day 4, 12 missed. Day 5, 6. Day 6, 2. Day 7, none. The silence felt heavy at first, then bright, like standing on a ridgeline at dawn, like tasting my own coffee for the first time in months. On Friday, an envelope slid under my office door. No return address, just my name. Inside, a crude drawing in marker of Tyler's, and a note in Megan's printing that was not sorry, but not war either. Asterisk, he misses you. We both do. Can we talk if you're not going to be weird? Asterisk I stared at the note for a long time. Weird means firm in our family. Weird means won't play the old game. I put the drawing on my fridge. I put the note in a drawer. I didn't get a Hallmark ending. No group hug. No montage of repaired ornaments. The crowdfund stayed up for a week, then disappeared. The TV box left Megan's place. Tyler got the flu and then he got better. Life, even when you pour gasoline on it, insists on being ordinary again. Here's what changed. I stopped explaining. I used to argue my case like a junior associate desperate to please a partner who'd already decided the outcome. Not anymore. When Mom opened with, "We need to talk about," I said, "Not today." When Megan texted, "Quick, what's your Netflix login?" I wrote back, "No." When Dad said, "Your sister has a situation," I said, "I hope she figures it out." I stopped rehearsing. I don't practice whole speeches in the shower about what I could say to make them understand. Understanding is not a gate I have to run through anymore. I started counting different numbers. Not the dollar amounts I spent cleaning up after Megan. Not the hours on hold with merchants. I count mornings where my first thought is mine. I count dinners I cook for myself without the phone on the table, face up, ready. I count messages from people who know how to ask. Last Sunday I went to dinner. Everyone was there. Megan wore a sweater normal people buy. Tyler dragged me to the table to show me a trading card he was proud of. Mom kissed my cheek like nothing had happened and, miracle of miracles, talked about a book club. Dad carved chicken, asked me about a case, told a joke that actually landed. Halfway through, Megan cleared her throat. I felt my shoulders prepare for impact. "I got a part-time at the school," she said. "Office. It's boring. It's steady." "That's great," I said, and meant it. She waited, wanting more. I gave her exactly what I had. "I'm happy for you." On my way out, she followed me to the porch. "So are we good?" she asked. "We're family," I said. She frowned. "That's not an answer." "It is," I said. "It's just a different one now." She blew out a breath. "You're still mad." "No," I said. "I'm not mad. I'm done being useful in ways that hurt me." "That's harsh." "It's honest." She looked past me at the street. "Tyler thinks you're a superhero," she said softly. "I told him you were acting like a villain." I nodded. "That sounds right," I said. "Boundaries look like villains to people who loved your lack of them." She didn't argue. She didn't apologize. We stood in the quiet until Tyler pressed his face to the glass and made a fish mouth, and we both laughed. Because life insists. In the car, I sat a minute with the engine off and said it out loud, in case the part of me that still needed court record certainty required it. "I will not put my sanity on autopay. I will help when I choose, not when I'm drafted. I will not be shamed out of my boundaries because someone says, family, like a magic word." And I drove home, my phone dark for once, the night ordinary in mine. What about you? Have you ever had to draw a really difficult line with your family, and how did it change things? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below.